Yesterday, we explored Cat Cat Village. Today, we're going somewhere a little higher. Actually, a lot higher. Today, we're visiting Fansipan, the highest mountain in Vietnam and the highest peak in all of Indochina. Now, before you start imagining ropes, ice axes, and survival documentaries, don't worry, there's a cable car. Unfortunately, that's only the beginning. Fansipan welcomed us, the same way every great adventure should, with rain. Apparently, the mountain wanted to make sure we earned every single view. So before we even entered, our very first purchase wasn't a souvenir. It was a rain poncho. Once inside, the first thing we found wasn't the mountain. It was this beautiful succulent garden. Hundreds of colorful succulents, carefully arranged like an outdoor gallery. Not exactly what we expected, but one of those little surprises that makes you slow down before the adventure really begins.
Close your eyes, hear the voice within, calling this heavy load got under your skin, hauling. You got the white knuckles holding on it tight.
Fansipan is part of Sun World, the tourism complex that operates the cable car and attractions around the mountain. Everything begins here, inside the pavilion, where the visitors patiently wait for their ride into the clouds. Then, it was finally our turn. For a few minutes, it feels like cheating. The mountain quietly disappears beneath you while the cable car does all the hard work. You almost start believing getting into the summit might actually be easy. Well, almost. The cable car doesn't take you to the summit. It simply introduces you to the stairs. Lots and lots of stairs. The higher we climbed, the quieter everything became. Clouds drifted through the temples, the mountains appeared, then disappeared again. Some days people come here for the view. Today, the clouds became part of the view. And this is Lem, our guide. A few minutes later, she asked us a very simple question. Would you like to take the funicular or continue by stairs? It sounded like one of those decisions that couldn't possibly matter. It mattered. Naturally, we chose the stairs. Well, Rochelle chose the stairs. She looked at the stairs, shrugged, and figured, how bad could it be? Turns out it was about 600 steps to the summit and another 600 to get back down. Somewhere around step 400, turning around was no longer an option. Eventually, the giant Buddha emerged from the mist, standing over 21 meters tall. It's one of the largest bronze Buddha statues in Vietnam. By now, we'd climbed hundreds of stairs, which naturally raises the question, if there's already a cable car, why are we still climbing? For centuries, reaching the summit of Fansipan wasn't something casual travelers did. The hike took 2, sometimes even 3 days through dense forests, steep ridges, and unpredictable weather. Only experienced trekkers made it to the top. Everything changed in 2016. That's when Sun Group opened the Fansipan cable car, transforming what was once a serious expedition into something almost anyone could experience. When it opened, it even set world records for its length and elevation. But here's the clever part. The cable car doesn't take you all the way. The final climb is still yours. Fansipan stands 3,143 meters above sea level, making it the highest mountain in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. That's why it's known as the Roof of Indochina. At this altitude, there's about 30% less oxygen than at sea level. Not enough to worry most visitors, but enough to remind your legs you're on a mountain. Which explains why Rochelle had officially entered survival mode.
Okay. Utang na loob.
Just when we thought the worst was over, the funicular glided right past us. Warm, dry, comfortable. It was almost showing off. A little farther up, there was another station. Another chance to skip the stairs. The line looked long, the summit looked close. We've already come this far, we said. Those 5 words have probably fooled travelers for generations. Because we definitely hadn't.
Very questionable.
Akala ko ba magpa-practice ka na bago ka pumunta dito?
Ay, hindi ko naman alam na pupunta tayo dito. Dahil... Stop and enjoy the view.
Then through the clouds, the Vietnamese flag. And finally, the summit marker. 3,143 meters. The Roof of Indochina. Cold, windy, but completely worth it. Although if you ask Rochelle, the funicular is also completely worth it.
You move a little bit behind and then I see the feet.
It's okay.
Yeah. Here from this side.
Reaching the summit wasn't the end of the adventure. We still had another 600 steps waiting on the way back down.
Okay, that's good.
Thankfully, gravity was finally on our side. Before leaving, we made one last stop, possibly the highest Starbucks in Vietnam. After everything we've just climbed, hot drink somehow tasted even better. Then it was back onto the cable car. As we descended through the clouds, the mountains slowly disappeared behind us. Fansipan challenged us with rain, fog, endless stairs, and a few questionable decisions. But it also rewarded us with an experience we won't soon forget. If you're planning a visit, wear comfortable shoes, don't underestimate the stairs, and remember, the cable car only gets you part of the way. But once you reach the top, you'll understand why they call it the Roof of Indochina. Join us as we travel 19 days across Vietnam, from Hanoi all the way to Ho Chi Minh City. If you enjoyed this adventure, we'd love to have you along. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.